everybody. It's me, Beth Maitland, at the Drama Queen Bee Quilt Studio. And this is our very first tutorial in my new space. This is in the lovely Central Coast of California, and the weather's about, I would say, 69, 70 degrees, perfect quilting weather. And it's plein air because we have the hatch door up, and so we're quilting with the birds and the bees. Thank you for joining me for these tutorials. First, I wanted to talk to you about figural quilting. This is quilting on one whole cloth on just a plain piece of muslin where we've taken an air erase marker, we've done a rough sketch, and now I'm going to quilt over the top of the muslin over the sketch. We're going to do some creative fills around the outside of the design, and then we're going to show you with the spritz bottle how when the marker goes away, how we have a beautiful textural picture. And so that's sort of I would call it coloring book quilting without a color. And so we're going to talk about that first. Okay, so here we are at the quilting surface, and I want to just let you know that I have muslin loaded on the back. I'm using Hobbs 80-20, 80% cotton, 20% polyester. 80% polyester, 20% cotton. Hobbs Heirloom batting. And that gives me a nice little puff. I don't know if you can see the outer edge of this, but you can see the little texture that it creates in the quilting surface. Now, for figural quilting, what I have done is I have a friend who has just written a wonderful children's book to educate approximately third graders about what to do about caring for their animals, dogs and cats. This is a sketch that is the star of her book, her little buddy Jack. And I had her sketch this for us on muslin, and my intention is to show you figural quilting by outlining her sketch with quilting thread. I know that it would be easier to see if this thread were a deep color, but what I want to show you is this is air erase marker, and as soon as we squirt it with water, it disappears. And so we're going to try outlining Jack and see what we can do. Now, this is all tacked down around the outside of the piece. We're going to find a kind of a hidden spot to lower our needle and pull up our bobbin thread. And then I'm going to take just a few tacking stitches. That is ensuring that my stitches are locked down, and off we go. So you'll be able to see a little bit better in a moment, but what's happening is I'm following Tink's outlines, the drawing sketches that she's done with the water-soluble marker. I'm filling in a little bit extra with the quilting, and as I finish the outlining quilting, I will then fill in later on with some stippling behind the actual shape of the doggy Jack. And here I am filling in his nose and his whiskers and his smile and his eyes, and just mostly going with whatever she has given me to outline. I'll go back in later and I will fill in some textures of the way that his fur grows, and she's given his little markings. He's got a little chest, white on his chest, white on his feet, white blaze down his nose, and I'll probably go back in and fill in some of that. And what's going to be awesome about this is once it's micro quilted, I'll take it off the machine and bind it, and then she's going to hand paint it just like the illustrations in her book. So this is going to be a fantastic little thing for her to put out on the counter when she goes to all the elementary schools and gives away copies of her wonderful idea, her wonderful book, teaching third graders how, in Spanish and in English, how to take care of baby animals, how to take them to the vet, how to get them licensed, how to give them food and water, keep them safe. It's just an awesome project, so I want to participate. So this is my little gift to her to take with her on all of her little displays. So as you can see, here's little Jack taking shape. Okay, so now we're tying off our thread by pulling up the bobbin thread again. I took a couple of tacking stitches to tie that off, and now all of this outlining, I'm going to go back and do several other passes, putting in texture and shape. But I want to show you really quickly what happens when we get rid of the dry erase marker. Little water spritz. And there'll be plenty of time, like I said, to go back in and do details. But pretty soon, our blue marks disappear, and we have the outline the lovely texture that when this dries and all of this is gone, I can go back in and color in his eyes and color in a little bit more detail over his eyebrows, a little white blaze. There's some little whiskers. We can make some little bumps and knots and polka dots and all kinds of other texture on this thing. And then we're going to come back in just a minute and we're going to quilt all kinds of micro quilting around the outside to make sure that little Jack pops up. Step 1 complete. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope you found something fun to try on your next quilt or on your next quilting adventure. Thanks for joining me at Drama Queen Bee Quilts. This is Beth Maitland. See you later.